guys, I'm back again for another video, and that is going to be a book review of The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. Now, I finished this like 2 weeks ago, but I've been so busy that I haven't had time to do a book review of this, but now I have time today, so I'm going to be making this video. And the glare of the window is really getting on this. Anyway guys, I loved this book. I've been anticipating reading it for so many months and I just didn't buy it. So when I got it for Christmas, I was so pumped and I started reading it straight away. I wasn't finished it when the TBR Takedown readathon started, so I finished it on the first day of the readathon because I still had like a third of the book left to go because I just couldn't put it down. It was so amazing. Now, before I get into the book review, I'm going to tell you that this is going to have spoilers in it because I just cannot talk about this book without revealing some of the things that really, like, made me, it felt so intense, and I was just like, oh my god. So, I'll give you like a spoilery free kind of like explanation of the book, but then I'll start talking about the stuff in the book. Now, the book is about a girl named Leah, and she's from the kingdom of Morningham. Is that right? Morningham. Hopefully that's right. And she's a princess, and her father's pretty much selling her off to the kingdom of Abbeyleec for an alliance in marriage, but she doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to marry someone she doesn't love. She doesn't want her life to be controlled. So on the day of the morning of her wedding, she runs with her maid, not her servant, but like her best friend kind of thing, like her maid, Pauline, and they escape to the city of Civica, which is like a 10 days horseback ride from where she's from. And she sets up her own life. She doesn't have to, she doesn't have to do her princess responsibilities. She has everything that she could ever want, like she's free. But then two strangers come to the city, and one of them's the prince and one of them is assassin sent to kill her. So that's my spoilery free like section, and now we're going to get into the spoilers. The biggest thing in this book was that I was so shocked when I got the identities of the prince and the assassin mixed up. It messed with my brain for so long, and for days I was just being like, how did I not see that? How did I not see that Rafe was the prince and Caden was the assassin? I thought it was flipped around, and I really loved I'm going to say it like this, so I loved the idea of her falling in love with the prince, not the assassin. So that's why I was rooting for Caden. But when she started falling in love with Rafe, I was really annoyed because I'm like, yeah, that's a good love story. She falls in love with the assassin who was sent to kill her. But I thought it would have been so much better if she fell in love with the prince that she hated, and then she found out that he was alright, and if she actually went to go marry him, she would have fallen in love with him. So when they swapped, I was happy in that sense that we win-win with me and Leah, because she got the person that she wanted to be with, and I got the prince aspect of this story. But seriously, it flipped me out so much, and then I was looking back on pages being like, how was this I don't understand. But I do get how the point of views, perspectives that were for for these two characters, they called them the prince and the assassin, but then they also had chapters with Caden and Rafe in them, so it was very tricky, and that's the big plot. I had to look around everywhere too to make sure I wasn't the only one, and that was the big plot twist at the end of this book, and it flipped me out. Like, I was going to my mum and dad being like, I don't understand what's happening. And I had to put the book down for like a day, and then I picked it back up, and I was like, oh my god, I still don't know. Like, this book definitely needs to have a reread sometime in the future for me, so I can pick up who's the prince and the assassin when I'm reading it. I really need that, but it just flipped me out so much. I really liked Leah as a character. She's so strong-willed, and she doesn't want to be controlled by the kingdom of Morningham or her father. And I really enjoy how protective she is of Pauline after she finds out that Pauline's pregnant with a guy that she thought she was in love with, but then we find out that he's actually, a player of sorts, and he's always with different women every night. And it was really sad, the scene where Leah had to tell Pauline that the guy that she loved was dead, because she couldn't handle telling her that he, really didn't love her. And it was so sad because she's expecting a baby, but Leah was so supportive of her throughout these events, and I really enjoyed like how kind she is to people. And she's a really hard worker too. Like, as a princess, she'd be more, you know, have much more trouble trying to do things. But because she has 4 older brothers, she did get down and dirty with them at some events and stuff, which I thought was really good because she really, like, you know, discovered how to do things. And I think that's really good to have that type of, what's the word? Experience, that's it. Have that type of experience in her life that will help her later on in her life. The saddest moment in this book for me though was when Walter died, and also the scene where he, like, you know, there was a lot of development with his character. Like when you first met him, he was like, you know, coming through to see Leah, and he was so excited for her to finally break away, to have her own life. And then he was telling her about how his wife was expecting a baby, and they were gonna get, and they've already been married, and they're gonna have so much love. And then he goes off to battle, and he comes back, and his wife was killed, and the baby sadly was killed as well, because the baby was still inside her. And then he was so bent on getting revenge, and it was just such a sad scene because Leah actually sees his death and all of the people in his battalion, I think that's the word, and it was just so sad because she's up on top of a cliff and then it's happening below her and she can't do anything. And the saddest moment was when she started building graves for these 30 soldiers, and she got through the first 4 before Caden helped her, because by this point she's been kidnapped by the assassins and she's been taken to the kingdom of Vendor by Caden and the assassins. And it's really sad because they want to help her but they can't because they have a code. But then Caden starts just digging holes in the ground to help her, like, because I really like the line where he's like, I'm just digging holes, she can put the bodies in, I'm just digging holes, I'm not breaking a code. Like, it's just really nice how they helped her, and she's such, like, has such humility to be able to dig all these holes and just be so kind about it and not be embarrassed by all these men watching her do it. Just such a good scene. And I also really enjoyed the fact that Rafe followed her because he's in love with her and he wants to bring her back, make sure she doesn't get hurt. So he follows this whole group, but then he gets taken by the assassins as well, and he pretends he's an emissary. When she sees the note that he gave her, she figures out he's the prince, and she, like, Leah's really, like, not sure what to think. And then the book ended. I'm really excited for the next book. I think it's going to be great. Really do think it's going to be great. I really love the cover of the book as well because it's just so cute how she's got the flower chains in her hair, and that's part of the book. And then I think that's Rafe in the background. A horse is building, and it has a really beautiful map in the front here, and it has like different designs and stuff. But I really enjoyed this book, and I'm so annoyed that I can't get the next one for like another few months in paperback, because this one's in paperback and I want it to match, so I have to wait like 200 days for the paperback version to come out, and it's just like, haha, kill me now. But anyway guys, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you later.